This morning, a deadly crash involving a motorcyclist. Live pictures from the scene at the intersection of 35th Avenue and Dunlap. This, in fact, is a very busy part of our morning commute off the I-17. Police say the woman was driving the motorcycle, and sadly, she was taken to the hospital and she was killed. A child in the other vehicle involved also taken to the hospital. That child's condition not known at the time. The intersection, as you see, is shut down in all directions right now as police investigate. Crews continue to work to recover victims' remains and debris from the Potomac River following Wednesday night's deadly midair crash near Reagan National Airport.
As of this morning, we now know, more than 40 bodies have been pulled from the water. It is being reported that crews also recovered both of the black boxes from the water, which could hopefully give investigators key answers on what happened leading up to the crash. An American Airlines jet and a military helicopter, a Black Hawk, somehow collided, killing 67 people in total. Early Federal Aviation Administration reports shedding light on staffing issues, with reports saying staffing was, quote, not normal at the time of the incident. Now, the National Transportation Safety Board will lead the crash investigation, and a preliminary report should be ready within the next 30 days.
Well, the victims of the plane crash honored in Wichita, Kansas. That's where the American Airlines flight involved in the crash had departed. Bouquets of flowers and cards have started showing up at Wichita's Dwight D. Eisenhower National Airport to honor the lives of those lost in the crash.
And tributes also coming from the U.S. figure skating community. The makeshift memorial was set up at the Ashburn Ice House outside of Washington. Among the victims of the crash were 14 members of the U.S. figure skating team, parents and coaches. The facility says it has been directly impacted by the crash, revealing a coach at the skating club was on board that American Airlines plane. The memorial includes flowers, balloons, and handwritten notes of heartbreak. And as the investigation into the plane crash continues, we are also learning more about the airspace around Reagan National Airport.
Yeah, experienced pilots say D.C. is one of the most controlled airspaces on Earth, but it is also very congested. Fox 10, we spoke here with former pilots, including a former Black Hawk helicopter pilot who has flown that exact route. He describes it as very narrow and says it's very difficult for pilots to see at night.
An airplane with its lights on, it's coming towards you. Those lights are going to blur and blend with the lights of Alexandria and every city and town around that area.
Well, a pilot with 60 years of experience says things are moving fast at Reagan National Airport. Take a listen here.
On that runway, they often wanted you to expedite down the runway so you get past where the intersection was. And then once you're past that intersection, they can release the plane that's waiting on the north runway to go that way without fear that it's going to run into you.
Well, the pilots also say it is just too early to know exactly what went wrong. You've heard many of the experts and those who, in fact, teach pilots say there are so many layers of, direction that people take from either air traffic controllers or, some of the co-pilots, and it's just hard to tell. There may be more than one reason as to how it happened.
Well, new details are still pouring into the newsroom about this crash, and of course you can find the latest coverage along with live broadcasts from Fox TV stations across the country by downloading our Fox Local app to your smartphone or your TV.
New this morning, a stabbing investigation taking place in downtown Phoenix. Police say this happened just before 2 a.m. near First and Van Buren. A man was taken to the hospital with serious injuries, is expected to survive. They say a male suspect was there on the scene and left on foot, walked away, and has not been located just yet.
Deputies are searching for the driver who hit a boy in a Santan Valley neighborhood and then took off. The Pinal County Sheriff's office says the victim was seriously hurt but will survive his injuries. He was struck around 6:30 p.m. near Johnson Ranch Boulevard and Maravilla Drive. So this is a picture of the type of car involved. Investigators describe it as a 2016 to 2014 Kia sedan. It's white, black, or gray in color with damage likely to the front bumper or the sides. So if you see this car or you have any information, you're asked to call 911 or you can contact the Pinal County Sheriff's Office. The Arizona Education Association says teachers in the Isaac School District will show up for work this morning.
They are expected to get paid, but it's not guaranteed that they will receive them by the end of today. Isaac is facing a budget shortfall of a whopping $28 million. The district receiving $6 million in federal funds, which will help pay the debt. Recently, it's getting $25 million in a deal with the Tolleson High School District. Will that buy Isaac Middle School and the lease property back to the district? Isaac will have 5 years to pay back the money at 6% interest. However, that money cannot be spent until it's approved by the Maricopa County Treasurer, John Allen. The Arizona Education Association says the teachers will come to work today so families don't have to make alternative plans for their children.
This is a self-sacrifice to a limit. I do not know how much further you can push Arizona public school teachers. These folks are living off $50 gift cards right now. It is pretty humiliating. It questions whether or not you went into the right profession.
Oh, the House Education Committee passed a bill that would help fund Isaac, but it is still awaiting a vote on the House floor.